Hello and welcome everyone, this is Haran, and today we are looking in New World Developer Update for September. I picked out the most important information and reveals to share with you in a short video, as a total developer video is over an hour and mostly they are talking about Brimstone Sands update and things we already knew from PTS.
And a big one, you mentioned arenas. Like, we're now going to be introducing separate queues for solo people and groups in arenas. So I think that's going to, one, help the balance, and two, just give another option to solo players.
Now, this is a good and a bad thing in my eyes. Personally, it will make it easier for myself not to be destroyed by a pre-made team in arena. However, splitting it into two queues will make the wait even longer. Maybe it won't be that bad if people keep coming into the game, but personally, this is concerning.
And now we want to start working towards super hard endgame raid content. And it was really important that we made a few good expeditions before we start, crawl before you walk, walk before you run, that kind of thing. It was really important that we felt like we were succeeding at making expeditions before we start looking at raids. And I think we have some evidence now that we're doing a pretty good job at expeditions, and we can start moving down toward that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of compelling content to be made for 10, 20 group of players to see. You may have seen a glimpse of something that's in the future in store for you. And we are looking to add a lot more content like that in the future.
Raids sound like an amazing thing for the endgame, especially for someone like me who's so bad at PvP. Bigger battle fights in expedition-like content would feel amazing in this game.
We want to keep adding horizontal gameplay. You might notice that we were asked a lot, are you going to raise the level cap for Brimstone? And we just didn't think it was time to yet. We think as we get more content and more things for players to do, we feel like there's enough there, but we did want to grow sideways a little bit.
From this, I understand that they want to expand current content, and when they feel they have enough, they will keep increasing player levels and gear scores, most likely with next big content update after Brimstone Sands.
And I think we're going to, I don't have a time frame or anything, but we're going to continue to add more weapons into the mix over time for sure. I think it's interesting how it mixes up.
Let us know what you want next, community.
Yes.
They've let us know.
And what is it?
Daggers.
Daggers.
Absolutely. We'll see.
TBD. There's other weapons in the mix too.
We already knew that daggers might be coming after Greatsword, but for me, it seems like a confirmation because it's the most requested weapon, even if you're looking into other ones as well. I assume daggers should come to the next big update they will do.
Inventory management starts to become a lot when you are carrying all these different sets, and we're looking to add a feature that will help out with that significantly.
As a crafter, I would like that also, right? Like, I don't have to swap in
Certainly
stone
true.
cutting, refining, all that.
But just full transparency, those aren't like in the near-term roadmap. These are things we're working toward.
That's why we're not calling them out by any kind of name.
Yeah.
Loadouts were found from data mining, and I think it's quite obvious it's coming. However, it's confirmed it won't come with Brimstone Sands, but in the future. Even if they say not in near future, it's probably coming with next big update, but of course it will take them probably a year for it to come. So that would be in not near future.
We are designing mounts.
Again, no timeline on these. Very far into the future,
Yeah.
but it is something we are beginning to actively work on. Part of that is because we know as the world gets, like right now the world is really big. I think if it gets any bigger, it's going to require it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's super important, so you can kind of think about timelines along those lines.
This is clearly a confirmation for me that mounts are coming with next big update. If it will have a new zone, that it definitely should have, what they mean is that with Brimstone Sands update, the game is at the limit of being accessible without mounts. And if they add any more zones, they will have to add them.
Major overhaul in the amount of it shouldn't be like standard kill quests or go loot a chest. So it's a lot more
variety.
Very few of
story driven, yeah.
And we've added a lot more mini bosses, right? Like with actually like some interesting dynamics in the fights. I mean, Gwen's there, and Medea's there, and like those are great fights. But there's plenty more like in the middle of each quest series.
Yeah, and you don't just go straight to kill them. You have to do other things as you're doing it.
Quest improvement is extremely important for me, as I found them as the biggest issues in New World. I'm looking forward to see what they did with Brimstone Sands and excited if they keep improving their design.
We have spent countless hours packing this zone with as much unique content, hidden content, secrets, collectibles. Our POIs have tall verticality structures you can climb. Almost every POI can be climbed. There's jumping puzzles, there's platforming puzzles, there's cliffside ruins, Roman forts, sulfur pools. It's a lot of content. It's a lot of unique content, and I can't wait to see what players think of it. I think it sets a new standard for open world interactables and small little dynamic things you can find on the road. It has the most random roadside encounters of any zone so far, and there's a lot to unpack.
Making zones full of different details and content seems a great idea, as some old zones seem kinda lacking content for me. Brimstone Sands will show us how and what we improved, and if we can expect even better development of the game. I would love to see old zones updated with similar ideas of secrets, interactions, events, and collectibles. We are already seeing them updating some older zones, so I have a high hopes they will keep doing it with upcoming updates. This will be all for the video, just few short most important parts for me in new developer update. If you want to watch the full video, I'll be leaving a link in description, and if you have any thoughts or ideas to discuss, feel free to leave a comment. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like it, or if you want to see more updates and keep up with New World videos, you can also subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you next time in Eternum.